You might be wondering why you read one thing or hear one thing in the national media, but then you see something else reflected in the Maine real estate market. And that's because the experience we've had in Maine is a little bit different than what they've done in other parts of the country. In places like Florida or Arizona or California, in some larger cities, they overbuilt. And so as we've seen changes in interest rates, we've seen softening demand and too much inventory piling up in those cities and in those states. In Maine, we have a housing shortage. That means that even when interest rates go up and demand might fall a little bit, we're still constrained by our supply. And we expect that it's going to continue for quite a while in Maine. Now, obviously, we're going to keep watching together what's happening in the economy, but what we predict in Maine and what experts predict in Maine is that we're still going to have fewer houses than people that need to buy them and live in them, which means there's going to be pretty stable housing pressure and pricing pressure on the things you're going to buy. If you're a buyer, this might feel frustrating. So what we need to do is we need to look at what are our ways to reduce the cost to you. Are there different loan programs based on what your down payment is going to be? Do we have different options if we look at the time or the structure of your loan? Are there ways that we can make you competitive on terms that might mean that you don't have to go above your comfort level in terms of price? We're going to have to be creative to get competitive as a buyer to be successful. Because even though we might not be seeing 20 or 30 offers on a property like we were at the height of the frenzy, when we see multiple offers, we need to make sure that your offer stands out. As a seller, you're still going to have strong demand, and depending on when we put it on the market and how much competition we have, it might dictate our strategy for how we present your house to the market. But I can tell you that in this market, with prices being high and labor being short, a lot of buyers aren't going to want to do work. Look, we love living in Maine, and it's no surprise that people from other parts of the country do as well. But right now, as we see Mainers that are buying and selling within Maine, we know that there's going to be a lot of competition per house. Let's make sure that we come up with a unique strategy for you and your situation that's going to help you realize your goals.